Hello, welcome back to Pai Love Story. I'm your host, Lilia. This episode is a little different because this time, the story is mine. I started this podcast about a month ago with the intention of capturing real connections here in Pai. Since then, I've spoken to incredible people, heard beautiful love stories, and somewhere along the way, something unexpected happened. Last month, my computer suddenly broke. The screen went completely black, and with it, my ability to work. So I had a lot of unexpected free time. And somehow that led me to download Tinder again. That's where I met Fabi, a German guy riding his motorcycle all the way from Germany to Thailand. We matched. I invited him over to my balcony to watch the sunset. And 1 hour later, he showed up with beers, a shy smile, and a kind of energy that felt strangely familiar. What started as a simple first date turned into a week-long love story. In this episode, I'm sitting down with Fabi to talk about how we met, what we felt, and why sometimes the most unexpected moments becomes the ones that change you. This is my Pai Love Story with Fabi. Hi, welcome to Pai Love Story. I'm your host, Lilia. I live in Pai, a magical little town in northern Thailand where every day feels like a festival and every connection feels a little bit distant. This podcast is about the love stories that happen here. The short ones, the forever ones, the ones that break you open. Because something about Pai changes people, and love here is never ordinary. I actually feel very shy to talk about my own story, but I also want to insert a comment that my classmate in Thai class, he gave it to me. He said he listened to my podcast, but he was like, damn, somebody needs to interview this woman. So, Ethan, here you are. This is my podcast about my story with Fabian from Germany. And I want to ask him some questions. Maybe he should start telling the story about the first impression of me.
When I first saw your smile, I just thought you were so cute, and I couldn't believe how lucky I am that you actually meet with me. So, yeah. Then I was really happy to just be on the balcony with you and talk with you about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I couldn't stop smiling at you, and that felt really nice.
I just find Fabian really irresistible. He's really tall, has a cute smile, although he's also very young as well, 31, traveling from Germany to Pai. It took you about 8 months, lots of adventures, I think you are one of the coolest person that I met, has such a beautiful energy, eats vegetables and tofu a lot. Which is super cute.
Yes.
And he's very, very sweet and gentle, has a very calm energy. We can just chill and not talking. And it's also just feel very comfortable, And I didn't see his motorbike. When he came to my house, he was walking. How long did you walk?
45 minutes. Because I was not sure what's going to happen on this evening, so I didn't want to come with a couple of beers and then drive home again.
What do you mean drive home again?
I was not sure where I was going to sleep that night.
You already had some expectation.
Some hopes, but no expectations.
And that was the beginning. A sunset on my balcony, a few beers, and a conversation that just flowed. It didn't feel like meeting someone new. it felt like remembering someone. What made it special?
The fact that from the first moment on, it felt like we've already known each other for a very long time. So I felt very comfortable from the first second on. Not nervous. Just very natural. And yeah, that's what I like very much.
Yeah, it's interesting. Actually, the next day, I just invited Fabi to come to stay with me because I know he was camping in the hostel. And I was just like, yeah, why? My bed is so comfortable. A few hours later, he brought all his stuff and his huge bike and showed up in my balcony again. And I was just like, this feels almost like a dream, but it also feels so natural. And I was just like amazed by how natural everything is. And then it's really very nice flow of us. One thing I really love is how we play. We actually start this theme. It's called Grandpa. Grandpa is going to tell the grandkids how he met Grandma. And that version always made me so happy because I said that you need to tell this story to our grandchildren. How you met grandmother.
She invited me to a balcony, and then after the first beer, she said we should have the second beer inside. Although I thought it's really nice outside. Couldn't really understand why you want to move.
Yeah, I was just like, outside is getting dark and then mosquito is going to come in to bite me. So I think inside might be a better idea. There was something very light between us, playful, a little ridiculous, but also really intimate. I think what surprised me the most was how safe I felt. We shared so many moments, a mushroom trip on the balcony, laughing, opening up, seeing each other more deeply, jungle tubing where he completely carried me through the river like a pro, sunset at Pai Canyon where a stranger stopped and said, "You too look beautiful. Can I take a photo?" And in that moment, it really felt like we were. I feel a lot of emotional connection with you as well. I can understand all your jokes, which is amazing because I feel like we have same sense of humor. Yeah.
And I like that you teach me some Chinese so I can express myself in different ways.
You are very good at flirting in Chinese.
Well, I'm glad you like it because otherwise it might come over a little bit creepy.
And then reality slowly came back. This wasn't a forever situation. Fabi is traveling. He's leaving soon. We said that our first date actually lasted a week nonstop. Yeah, so hopefully the second date will last long as well.
Second date, 2 weeks.
Second date, 2 weeks. Too short. And that's the strange thing about Pai. People come here for a few days and somehow fall into something deeper, a connection, a moment, a version of themselves they didn't expect. I don't know what will happen next, but I do know this. What we had was real, and sometimes that's enough. So for me, it was incredible I didn't know this guy at all, and then all of a sudden he showed up and just changed my worldview again. Because for a really long time, I don't believe I'm worthy of love. So that's really interesting how I just didn't feel the doubt that I was loved very much with Fabi. Yeah, so that was really nice. So I'm thinking if this is only temporary, if this is only temporary. Fabi just go on his trip and go to stay in Germany forever. Decided not to come back. I will still keep this memory forever. I remember how much love I have received from you. Thank you.
Thank you for making my time so special here.
Yeah. You are my Pai Love Story. I hope I can continue that grandma story too.
You are my Pai Love Story.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
Ich lieb dich.
Very good. Ich dich auch.
我爱你.
我爱你.
So I thought that was the end of our story. We said goodbye in Pai. There were tears, a lot of tears. And just like that, he left. But then 1 hour later, life did something unexpected. I got a call from Apple. My laptop was suddenly fixed and ready to pick up in Chiang Mai. And I remember thinking, what are the chances? Because Chiang Mai was exactly where Fabi was passing through. At first, I didn't think I would see him again, but when I was on the bus to Chiang Mai, he texted me. He said he could turn back. He could come see me. And just like that, we had one more night. We walked through the night market, had a couple of drinks, kept laughing like nothing had changed. He walked with me to pick up my laptop, which ironically was still not fixed. Somehow, the screen was cracked again. But strangely, it didn't matter because he was there. And the next goodbye was even harder because now we knew exactly what we were losing. I went back to Pai alone. For 2 days, I felt really empty. And then something hit me. Fabi was on his way to Bangkok to ship his motorbike. And after that, he would be alone on an island for a few days. And I thought, why not go? Pai was getting smoky from the forest fires. And maybe life was giving me another chance. So I took a night bus and I met him again. We spent the week together on Koh Chang, an island, the ocean, slow days, and a kind of peace that felt like a gift. It felt like a blessing in disguise. While everything was burning in the north, I was there on an island with someone I love. And then the third goodbye came in Bangkok, in a quiet hotel room. But this time, I didn't cry as much because something in me had shifted. I think I understood that not every love is meant to stay. Some people come into your life just to open your heart again. Fabi became something very special to me, not something I need to hold on to, but something I get to carry with me. A sweet memory, a gentle love, a little miracle that happened in Pai, and somehow that feels like enough. Thank you for listening to Pai Love Story. This is the end of our season 1. We'll be back in June with more stories, more connections, and more unexpected moments from Pai. Until then, take care of your heart, and I'll see you in the next chapter. Thank you for listening to this episode of Pai Love Story. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who once loved in Pai or someone who still believes in magic. Subscribe, leave a review, and follow along for more stories from the mountains. Until next time, stay open, stay wild, and let love find you.